Today let's talk about Pontiac. Since we are a car channel, you probably think of Pontiac as the brand that brought us the Star Chief, the Bonneville, that ass, the great GTO, the luxurious Grand Prix, the mighty Firebird, and the inspiring Fiero, and then the Grand Am, and the Transport, and then the Sunfire, the Firefly, and other Fury variant inspired names, then back to its roots, the Aztec. At least they end up trying again with the second GOAT and the Commodore. But this is off topic, since today we're talking about Pontiac, the man. So who is this man that had a car make name in his honor? Well, he was born in early 18th century in the Great Lake region. Not a lot is known about his backstory, but he was most likely involved in the unending conflicts in the region. He settled nearby the French fort Detroit that was built in the area by Antoine Lomet de la Motte Sire of Cadillac. Sounds familiar. Pontiac eventually grew his influence to become an Ottawa war leader, testament that things don't change with time. He then allied the French to squeal down native rebellions in the area until war exploded in 1754. The French and Indian War, part of the First True World War, the 7 Years' War, that lasted from 1754 to 1763. Nice maths. Anyway, the war, unlike the name implies, was actually French versus English colonists, both assisted by their natives allies. Although most of the fighting were restricted to the Atlantic region, with the expulsion of the Acajuns, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York frontiers, and the St. Lawrence Bank, with the 15 minutes long Battle of the Plains of Abraham. Detroit eventually got its share of violence too. On November 29, 1760, Fort Detroit was now officially transferred to the English. And English policies with the native weren't the best around, so friction was bound to happen, and it did 3 years later when Pontiac spoken these words. "It is important for us, my brothers, that we exterminate from our lands this nation which seeks only to destroy us. You see as well as I that we can no longer supply our needs as we have done with our brothers the French. Therefore, my brothers, we must all swear their destruction and wait no longer. Nothing prevents us, they are few in numbers and we can accomplish it." And so, Pontiac's war began. The first attack on May 7, 1763 consists of Pontiac with 300 men showing up at the fort, weapons hidden underneath their clothes. Their only intention was to massacre the British. But Henry Gladwin, the commander of the fort, had been forewarned and offered a stiff resistance to the natives. So Pontiac and his men fled back into the country to terrorize the local population, the English population only. He proceeded to lay siege onto the fort with minor daily skirmishes that culminated in July to the Battle of Bloody Run, where a British ambush was countered and Pontiac claimed a minor victory. A short-lived one, as the troop reinforced the fort and his men deserted out in October. Pontiac understood at that point that the French would not aid him, and he fled back to his land. From there on, he lost most of his influence and lived the end of his life in relative peace. He did get summoned in 1767 for the investigation of the murder of Elizabeth Betty Fisher, a 7-year-old English colonist. 4 years prior, during the siege of Detroit, the young girl was captured by the natives. The following year, when Betty was a captive at Pontiac's village, she tried to warm herself at Pontiac's fire. Pontiac became angry when the girl, sick with dysentery, soiled some of his bed sheets. According to the court testimony, Pontiac picked up the naked child, threw her into the Maumee River, and called upon a French-speaking ally to wade into the river and drown her. This was done. The French colonist who drowned Fisher was later arrested by the British, but had escaped by the time Pontiac came to testify. Pontiac neither confirmed or denied his role in the murder, and the investigation was eventually dropped. But the real question still stayed there. What the fuck a 7-year-old naked girl was doing in his bed sheets? Fuck. Following these events though, nothing really happened in his life. He He finally died 2 years later in 1769, either from smallpox-infested blankets, which sounds more like some stereotypical way to die for a native, or more likely assassinated by a rival tribe member, either motivated by revenge or British money. So kids, what is the moral of Pontiac's story? Well, if you live in a violent way and you're motivated by hatred, you will get a car brand name in your honor. You don't believe me? Look up Ford. So make sure to subscribe for more and go enjoy these honest used Pontiac reviews.